What's up, world? Phil here. So, what are we talking about? Well, I want to discuss something because, and it's just real quick, I see a lot of people posting their thoughts on this, and so I figure why not post my thoughts? You may not like me after you hear my thoughts. You may feel like, oh, you just don't understand. You just don't know better. Well, let me explain what I'm talking about. I see the you know the abortion issue being spoke of amongst even some apes. They want to talk about it, so um, I figure I could talk about it as well. And it's just real quick, So hear me out. I hear the argument that some religious folk are saying. They feel like, uh, you know, when someone lays down and does what they do, they should not have a choice to, you know, go through certain physical elements to end an abortion, to end uh, early stages of life. Now, what I do want to say is that I'm gonna give you the religious version of why they're feeling they feeling, and why I am who I am, and as far as what I'm saying. So a lot of the religious people, they feel like, you know, it's God wouldn't do this, God wouldn't do that, God wouldn't do this. You don't have the right to do this. You don't have rights. Yada 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 yada. Meanwhile, the very book that they push, there's been multiple times where their God is threatening and willing to kill unborn children maliciously. Let's think about the intent. Maliciously, that's what was said in the old version and the new version. Because, see, if you haven't read either one of those, you'll never know what you're talking about. You'll always be in the dark. And so, my opinion on, this whole pro life, pro choice shit. My thing is, abortions are gonna happen anyways, and someone's gonna lose their life, whether it be mom or you know the child in question, or the cells, is what they would say, right? So here's my words to some of you Christian folk and some of you religious folk. I respect you for speaking your mind, and you have every right to, be pro-life and say, hey, I believe, right? I believe, right? That's how you should be thinking. You should say, I believe that it should be this way. But it doesn't mean you, right? Just like you feel like they don't get the right to make altered changes to their bodies, just like you don't have the right to tell them when or how they could do that. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's my thing. I want you to imagine all of the married Christian religious men, and sometimes women, that go into the streets of the hood. You know what I'm saying? They go out there, they doing what they doing. They find them a little piece that's out there selling ass. You know why they selling ass? Is because everybody's forgotten about them. Nobody talks to them. Nobody wants to associate with them. And they out there trying to make it. And when you drive by in the hood, because see, some of y'all ain't never been in the street. So when you drive by in the hood and you see you see that lady that's out there on the corner, you see her selling coochie and shit, you look at her like, oh yeah, and you keep driving. You ignore her. Meanwhile, it's a religious married man out on the prowl looking to fuck her, impregnate her, and leave her hanging. You understand? And so When that happens, she's left with no choice but to figure out how to make her stomach stop hurting. Either she dies or whatever is in her is gonna have to go. And guess what? No one else is gonna make that decision but her. So think about the broad scale of people that you're talking to, because not everybody is like a working person making kids and wanting to get abortions. Not everybody lives like that. There are some people that are drug induced, drug addicted, out there fucking for money, for a place to live, and also a drug hit, and they're out there being forgotten. So think about circumstances of people before you say, hey, I'm pro-life. You better think about that one motherfucker you ignoring in the hood. When you drive by in the street, you better think about them. Because guess what? If you ain't thinking about them, you ain't pro-life. You're just a religious oppressor. You're not thinking about, the bullshit that people go through, economically, and the decisions that they're forced to make economically just to see the next day. Because, and yes, I get it. They should have never laid down and did this and that. But guess what? What do you do when you have no other hustle? What do you do when you have no other means of income? You're gonna, that crackhead that they're fucking and making babies with, you find babies in a dumpster, it's because of shit like that. But you religious folk, sorry. That's just another, cause see, what you don't realize is that, and this is why I'm in the middle, I'm not left or right. But the one thing I can say about the right wing, now hold on, let me help you right wingers. Let me let you feel good, because trust me, I'm not a left guy. But I don't like what I'm seeing. And I'm gonna tell you why. The left, they making such an issue, they just want to kill babies. No. The left understands that there are extremists on both sides, don't get it twisted. But there are right-wing extremists that want to force religion on everyone else, and they're doing it in parts. They're doing it with abortion. They're doing it with forcing, certain, they're preaching, trying to get Bibles taught in school, which me personally, I don't believe that should be the way. Because first of all, you need to prove that your guy exists. Okay? You need to prove that. You already tricked black folk for 400 years. You can't trick me though. Sorry. I've been saying this for years. And guess what? Not a bolt of lightning, not a bolt of nothing came and struck me at all. Why? Because I know it ain't gonna happen. Because I know that the religion that you're pushing and you're promoting, it's copied from the original black man from ancient Egypt. It's called Kemet. Yeah, we already know this. So if you wonder why ISIS is out there, they killing Christian folk, that's the reason. It's because they feel like some of you religious folks steal from them. So that's why you're right here in America saying what you're saying. You can say it loud and proud, but when you go over there across that bridge, you better keep quiet. None of that Jesus shit ain't gonna work over there. It may work to some people, but to them extremists who don't give a fuck about your religion, bye-bye. But like I said, right wing, y'all got to stop trying to sneak religion on us in America again, because what happened last time, slavery happened. Because people say, hey, look, in the Bible it says XYZ, I could do this. I'm like, yeah, but you're using that as an excuse. I could use the same thing and say, hey, the Bible says XYZ in about abortion. Your guy is saying he's going to kill babies. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. And trust me, left wing got their fucking issues too. They're fucking lying to everybody, just like the right wing is lying to everybody. But right wing, the reason why nobody likes that shit that y'all doing is because You got a history, man. You gotta just like everybody else you always say, well, look at his background. Well, let's look at your background. You forced this fake book on people, okay? You forced it on us, and now you got filmmakers making movies trying to wake everybody up to say, hey man, that book is fucking flawed. What movies am I talking about? Well, you got Jordan Peele, Get Out. This movie literally is the image of showing the black Christian. What I mean by the black Christian American, I mean the Christian that don't know his true religion. Remember, a lot of black people were brought here from another country, right? So that means that they have an origin of a religion that they followed. Wasn't Christianity. Now, some of you is going to say, oh, but Christianity was practiced in Africa. Yeah, in other parts. But what about the fucking source? Christianity, like I said, the letter J wasn't even invented until like 400 years ago. There's a whole book that teaches slave owners how to, tame their slaves. There's a whole book called the Religious Indoctrination of the Negro. Okay, they got this book and they were reading it. They were sitting there reading it and then learning how to preach the book to slaves who did not know how to read. That's why they said, "Hey, how'd you know how to read? I don't know what that word means, sir." Shit like that. You can get them new cats. You can't get me though. See, I'm a guy that's gonna research. I'm gonna realize everything. So that's just my little thoughts. And I know it ain't quick. It's been 11, 12 minutes. But, I just don't feel like when it comes to this abortion shit, me personally, I don't really give a fuck. But I also don't want to see this fake book get implemented into laws. Because this fake book has no source, has no origin. There's different versions. People want to, be religious all the goddamn time because they don't know no better anyway. They just doing what their grandma told them, their dad told them to do. They just doing that shit. There's no real true, now mind you, if you're a junkie and you found Jesus through whatever, I guess, you found, some positivity in this religion and they help you get out of it, that's great. That's totally good. I appreciate that. But in my mind, in my world, right? My world. This is my channel. In my world, that religion is just a hidden excuse. Just like the way we look at the left wing, we look at how they're treating shit. They're like, talking about, sure, let me be the SEC chairman and let me do this and I got this. And here it is the whole time this motherfucker's just trying to get their paws on the fucking money on the market. Nancy Pelosi, huh? Yeah. So what I'm saying is, right wing, you're doing the same thing except with different things. It's called religion. You're using religion to force this upon everyone else, and everybody ain't gonna stand for that. Matter of fact, there's nothing you could do to force me to praise your God. There's nothing you could do. You could try to do whatever, and I know what you guys used to do back in the day. You guys used to chop off the dicks of black men and talking about, oh yeah, you know why they used to do that to us? It's religious. It's in the Bible. As soon as your dick gets chopped off, you're immediately abominated. Now, who know more than us? But see, guess what? The way that people want to give it to you, they want to say, oh, that's flawed. That's green. Oh, come on, Phil, that's not happening no more. Yeah, but why are you still preaching that book? That book is the source of mainly why you're dealing with cancel culture, motherfucker. It's because you're pushing this fuck ass book. Why don't you stop pushing that book and start pushing some real shit? That's just my opinion. But I respect your opinions and I respect your thoughts. But in my world, we don't say amen, we say amen, the original.